This is Financial Straight Talk with Jim Fox.
Straight Talk, as always, it's powered by Wadadley Financial Group, and we are here once again with the founder, president, and investment advisor representative, and of course, my good friend, Mr. Jim Fox. My name's Kevin McAlpin. Hope you're having a great weekend, and of course, Jim and I thank you so much for being with us on the program. And Jim, before we dive back into it, I'm putting you completely on the spot here because you and I, we have some fun off air in between segments before we start the show every week, and I got to wish you an early happy anniversary. Can you believe we've been together almost a full year? This week is our 1 year anniversary of being together on this show. And
well, Kevin,
it's been a pleasure.
It feels like it's been 20 years. What do I get out of this, dude? It is great. It's crazy that it went, seriously.
Yeah.
All jokingness aside, this is not, and our listeners may think it's easy, right? But it's hard for you coming from a baseball background to jump into this, and then, not knowing me, not knowing, that much history on like the subject matter. I mean, this is a difficult thing all the way around. And I think, to be honest with you, dude, I think, to quote Max, dude, we swung the bat and knocked it out of the park, dude. I think this has been a phenomenal year, man. And I want to thank you for just making that transition, which could have been very, very difficult, not only really easy, but enjoyable as well, man. So thank you.
It's something I look forward to each and every week. And I'm not just saying that because I enjoy what we do. And I enjoy the fact that we get a chance to reach out and touch folks, Jim, who, here on the Space Coast that maybe have never thought about, retirement planning. Maybe they thought they could do this on their own. There's a lot of folks, and I know you've been doing this, you said almost 3 decades now.
That's crazy.
Think about all the folks you've been able to help and really, put them in such different situations when it comes to their retirement.
Yeah. And a lot of our listeners may not even know this, but you do co-hosting for other finance guys too and girls. And we had a vision, Jerry and I back in the day, was to do something different, to cut through the air different than anybody else, right? And it was this vision that we had. And I love when clients come in, they say, I can't believe you said that on the air. And I love that, right?
Right.
And here you are, you're carrying that torch with me now. And I think you will admit that we definitely have a different vibe and a different sound than anybody that you've heard in the finance realm. Was that a fair statement?
You're the only one that uses the term financial weenie, so I can give you that. I don't know if there's a trademark involved in there anywhere or what, but you're the only one that uses that terminology. That's for sure.
Look, here's the deal. It's, I'm still, no matter how far along I get, no matter how much money I make, no matter how full of myself I can become, right? Which is a danger in this industry,
right.
Is that I'm still the son of Doyle Fox, the custodian at Kennedy Middle School, and the son of Ethel Fox, who worked in the kitchen at Wusthof Hospital. And nobody ever taught them. The only people that ever knocked on their door to help them was the Kirby vacuum cleaner salesman.
Right.
And to me, this is still a mission for me, right? And hopefully you hear it in my voice that this isn't a bunch of hype. If you think I'm trying to sell you something, you have lost your ever-loving mind. What I'm trying to do is arm you with knowledge, and you can take that knowledge and you can take on the biggest, wealthiest part of this economy, which is financial services. And I don't personally care if you come to me or not. It's not important. Don't hang tight. Someone will tell you to call them because they're the greatest ever, right? That's not the way I do things. I rub people the wrong way. Get over it. My information still helps you. That's what we want to do. We want to be that beacon of light, that point of financial literacy. And we want to give you just a little bit of that financial straight talk. That's where the name came from, is we want it real and raw. And I'm sorry, I mess up my is's and ers and all these other r's and I'm a redneck from Rockledge, but I have wisdom beyond my ages, not because I'm smart, not because I'm great, but because I've seen tens of thousands of people just like you, tens of thousands of mistakes and tens of thousands of great decisions. That's what we bring to the table, and that's what we want to do in the show, is give you hope. There is a chance. There's a place you can get information. I know I'm rambling and I'm crazy, but I want you guys to understand this. We have a show to do, but I want you to just know from the bottom of my heart, and Kevin believes this mission with me, so either I'm real or I'm crazy and I got him coming along with me. We want to see you do better, even if that means you never call us. That is our goal. That's why we do what we do every week. And that's why I make so many people mad at me, because I just say it the way it is. Look, right or wrong, you know where I stand. Mm-hmm. There's value in that.
Yeah, it really is. And Jim, I've enjoyed it and look forward to many more years to come. And obviously for folks listening, we have a lot of loyal listeners. I do know that.
We do, yeah.
And a lot of them, Jim, they've probably been hesitant to pick up that phone, to give you a call, to have that initial sit down. And if that sounds like you, if you've been tuned in for weeks or months or even years and you've been putting off making that phone call, why don't you put it off no longer? Pick up the phone. Give Jim Fox and the team at Wadadley Financial Group a call today. Like he says all the time on the show, you're going to walk away with knowledge when it comes to planning for your retirement. And that number again, folks, is 321-414-7526. That's 321-414-PLAN or online anytime. It's getfst.com. That's FST, stands for Financial Straight Talk. GetFST.com. So, Jim, I know we have a lot of folks listening that can relate to this. We know as our kids grow up, we may not need that big, fancy 4 or 5 bedroom house anymore. And some may think about downsizing when it comes to their retirement. Well, today, believe it or not, that isn't happening. A new study from Clever Real Estate finds that over 50% of boomers say they never plan to sell their house. Why? Well, maybe they've got a good mortgage rate, or maybe they have a paid off home and it gives them more spending income. So, Jim, that means our kids will probably be inheriting houses down the road. So what do they need to know to avoid some mistakes they need to avoid now if they're in a situation like that later?
Yeah, and just so you know, this isn't a radio topic. Every person that walks into my office knows that this is one of my bullet points at the end of our meeting. So if I never see you again, this is one of the conversations that I have with you. And it really comes down to legacy planning. So when you're alive and you come to me for the first time, because I don't do well with dead people, I guess that makes sense. So when you come to me, my first goal is to figure out how to get you income and how do we do it efficiently and how do we live life and love it. But unfortunately, I've been doing this more frequently, is that people are getting sick. They have, major health issues, and they're not going to be here months or years from now. So I had to kind of transition our thought process to more legacy driven stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And one of the biggest, simple, man, you have an IRA and you die, your kids inherit the IRA. Okay. I want it to be a Roth because it's a little bit more tax efficient, but it is what it is. But your home, the way that you inherit a home matters because of something called the step up in basis. Okay. That's really important. Give you a great example. Kevin, if I buy a house for $100,000 and I die and I leave that house to Hunter 20 years from now and it's worth $500,000, most people think when Hunter sells the house, he has to pay taxes on the $500,000. That just is not true. He assumes the value of that home on my day of death. So that means he gets to sell the house for $500,000 and pays $0 in taxes on it.
Wow.
That's called the step up in basis, right? Mm-hmm. Now, if he waits a while and sells it for $600,000, then he has to pay taxes on the difference between his step up, $500,000, and the $600,000, right? So he has to pay on $100,000. Mm-hmm. Here's the problem. So many people out there don't set this up properly, and they think that they need to do a quit claim deed. Now, you notice I try to enunciate that T, right? Quit claim deed instead of, everyone calls it the quick claim deed. There is nothing quick about it, okay? It's the quit claim deed. And that's basically saying, hey, I'm going to put my kids on my property. Here's the problem with that. You lose step up basis when that happens, Kevin. Mm-hmm. So now you got to deal with taxes when you sell. So first things first, you don't want that to happen. Secondly, you don't want to leave it up to a probate judge to determine how you will inherit, or how your children or your beneficiary will inherit your home. So we like something, and we're very fortunate. We're one of the few states that have this. It's called a Ladybird deed. Right? Mm-hmm. And what that is, and look, some lawyer right now is about to have a car accident when I say this, because there's way more involved than what I'm saying. But for the vast majority of us, the Ladybird deed is nothing more than a beneficiary on the mortgage, a beneficiary on the house, right?
Right.
So really simple. I die and I don't have that, if I put it in the will, it still goes through probate. Super important to know that. I die, leave it to Hunter. He has to hire a probate attorney. They have to go through probate court. They got to do all the nonsense. And then eventually the judge will sign it over to Hunter, right? Mm-hmm. But if I do this Ladybird deed, basically I die. Hunter walks up to the clerk of courts and says, hey, my dad's dead. Here's his death certificate. They do their little verification process. They look at it and they say, wow, okay, well, there's a Ladybird trust on this. You're Hunter. Let's see your information. Okay, great. We'll go ahead and see about getting that moved over into your name right away. Mm-hmm. That is the beauty of understanding how things work. But here's the real kicker. This isn't about a Ladybird deed. This isn't about step-up basis. This isn't about long-term capital gains. This isn't about IRAs. You know what this is about? Planning. And so many people out there right now don't have a plan. Why don't you guys hear it every time Kevin and I give out a phone number? It ends in the word plan, P-L-A-N. Right. Because we believe from the bottom of our hearts that that's where most people make mistakes, is they have things, they have products, but they don't have a plan. All I can say to you is this. If you think you have a plan, I want to challenge you. Come in and let us look at it. If it's great, the number's going to say it's great. If it's not, don't you think it's better to shoot holes in it before you need the money? Don't you think that's a great idea?
Yeah.
Secondly, if you don't have a plan, and that's the vast majority of you, pick up the phone and give us a call. We're standby. I don't care if you come to work as a client of ours. That doesn't matter to me. I want you to have good information so you can build the right retirement that you deserve. I get it. You love your guy. You love your gal. They're super nice. If they didn't build you a plan, they didn't do you a job, the right job. That's what matters. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a team standing by right now to take your call. I get it. You don't want to call. I don't want to give Lowe's my email or my phone number either. Okay. I don't like that stuff. But the reality is this can change the entire direction of your retirement. I encourage you. Pick up the phone. Give us a call. Kevin, I know you're going to give out that number. So go ahead and knock it out, buddy.
321-414-7526. As Jim mentions on the show every week, it's important to have that plan in place. It's so important. He put it right there in the phone number. 321-414-PLAN. That website again is getfst.com. Getfst.com, or better yet, pick up the phone. Get on Jim's calendar right now at 321-414-7526. Well, Jim, time flies when we're having fun, and it has certainly done that once again here this weekend. And before we run out of time, sir, the floor is all yours for the final word.
Thanks so much, Kevin. Well, guys, every week, Kevin and I say the same thing. We know that you have tons of options when it comes to getting financial information, and we're just honored to be one of those resources. So like he said, if there's anything we can do, pick up the phone, give us a call, go to the email, send us a smoke signal, tape a note to our door. I don't care what you do. Get in touch with us. But with all of that being said, on behalf of myself and Mr. Kevin Mack, I want to thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you next time on the Financial Straight Talk.
Thanks for listening to Financial Straight Talk with Jim Fox. To learn more, visit getfst.com.
Insurance products are offered through the insurance business Wadadley Financial Group. Wadadley Financial Group is also an investment advisory practice that offers products and services through Impact Partnership Wealth LLC IPW, a registered investment advisor. IPW does not offer insurance products. The insurance products offered by Wadadley Financial Group are not subject to investment advisor requirements. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Any references to protection, safety, or lifetime income generally refer to fixed insurance products, never securities or investments. Insurance guarantees are backed by the financial strength and claims paying abilities of the issuing carrier. This show is intended for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be used as the sole basis for financial decisions, nor should it be construed as advice designed to meet the particular needs of an individual's situation. Wadadley Financial Group is not permitted to offer, and no statement made during this show shall constitute tax or legal advice. Our firm is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any government agency. The information and opinions contained herein provided by third parties have been obtained from sources believed to be reliable, but accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed by Wadadley Financial Group.